In the heart of Igbo land in Nigeria, nestled among the rolling hills and lush greenery, lay the village of Okwe. It was a place where tradition and family bonds were cherished above all else. And within this close-knit community lived two inseparable teenage twin sisters, Nkechi and Okuchi. From the moment they came into this world, their bond was unbreakable. They did everything together, laughed together, and even cried together. As they grew older, they made a solemn promise to each other to marry on the same day and embark on the journey of life together. This promise was unyielding, a testament to their deep love for each other. Years passed, and Nkechi and Okuchi reached marriageable age. The twins were so beautiful as they were kind, and their grace and charm caught the eyes of many young men in the village. But there was a catch. The suitors had to agree to marry both sisters on the same day. This unusual request puzzled many potential spouses. They declined, fearing the financial burden and responsibility of marrying two sisters at once. Okuchi's heart was the first to waver, and she fell deeply in love with a young man named Soporo. His kindness and warmth melted her heart, and she knew she couldn't let him slip away. She tried to persuade Nkechi to reconsider their promise, but her twin sister remained steadfast in her decision. It pained Okuchi to leave Nkechi behind, but she couldn't give up her chance at happiness with Soporo. And so she decided to marry him without Nkechi. Nkechi, on the other hand, was heartbroken and felt betrayed by her sister. She couldn't understand how Okuchi could break their sacred promise. Her bitterness grew, and a dark idea took roots in her heart. She set out on a treacherous journey, determined to take revenge on Soporo for taking her sister away. Under the cloak of night, Nkechi reached Soporo's dwelling. As he lay in peaceful slumber, Nkechi whispered an incantation, and a sinister force crept into the room. Soporo took his last breath in his sleep. The next morning, the village was in mourning as news of Soporo's untimely death spread. Okuchi's heart shattered, and she wept bitterly. Surrounded by her family and friends, she felt the weight of her choice, and the guilt consumed her. Nkechi's malicious act remained a secret, and she watched from the shadows as her sister suffered. Their once unbreakable bond was shattered, and they became like Tom and Jerry, always at odds with one another. Okuchi was pregnant before Soporo died. 9 months later, as Okuchi gave birth to a set of beautiful twin boys, the tension between the sisters escalated. Nkechi, driven by jealousy and anger, set out once more, this time with an even darker intent to harm the newborns. As the days passed, the tension between Nkechi and Okuchi reached its breaking point. Nkechi's jealousy and anger towards her sister and the twins consumed her every thought. She was determined to harm the newborn boys and take away Okuchi's happiness. One moonless night, Nkechi sneaked into Okuchi's home. She crept into the room where the twins lay, swaddled in their cribs, innocent and defenseless. Nkechi's heart, hardened by her bitterness, knew no bounds. She whispered a dark incantation, hoping to bring harm to the infants. But fate had other plans. As she chanted the forbidden words, a flash of lightning struck across the sky, illuminating the room. In that brief, brilliant moment, the twins' mother, Okuchi, awoke to a horrifying sight. She saw her own sister, Nkechi, standing over her precious boys with a sinister expression. The room was filled with an otherworldly energy, and Okuchi knew that something was terribly wrong. She screamed for help, and the family rushed to her side. Nkechi, realizing she had been caught, tried to flee, but the villagers couldn't let her escape. They held her down, and Okuchi confronted her sister, tears streaming down her face. Nkechi, in a desperate attempt to avoid the consequences of her dark deeds, confessed to her sinister intentions. She admitted to trying to harm the twins out of jealousy and anger, as well as her role in Soporu's death. The villagers were shocked and disgusted by her actions. The village elders convened a council to decide Nkechi's fate. They declared her an outcast, banishing her from the village for her heinous crimes. Nkechi, in her desperation, sought out a native witch doctor, hoping to find protection or forgiveness for her terrible deeds. However, as Nkechi stood before the witch doctor, pleading for his help, a bolt lightning struck her down, ending her life in an instant. It was a chilling reminder of the consequences of her actions and a sign of divine justice. The village was left to heal from the wounds Nkechi had inflicted, and the twins grew up without the shadow of their estranged aunt's malevolence. Okuchi raised her sons with love and care, teaching them the importance of forgiveness and family bonds. In time, the rift between the two sisters began to heal, albeit too late for Nkechi, who had paid a heavy price for her jealousy and anger. The village of Okwe learned a powerful lesson about the destructive nature of envy and the importance of cherishing the bonds of family and tradition.